Let's see, I got
Check,
John.
check, 1, 2, 1, 2. What's up, everybody? RPM with you. Another Trader Spotlight. And we've got Chris Hall on here again with us. I think this is going to be part 3. And primarily focusing on thinkorswim, different features of thinkorswim. Tonight specifically covering some custom indicators and how to put those into the thinkorswim system. Alright, looks like I've got video coming back to me here. Hopefully everybody can hear us. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing great. Can we get a sound check to make sure people can hear us?
Yeah, let's see if somebody's in the room at all. Hopefully somebody's in there. And of course there's a little bit of a delay there. I'm going to go ahead and bring your screen up full screen here. I want to apologize to everybody. I forgot to send out the email on the website. There you go. There's John67. He's in there. He can hear us. I apologize. I forgot to mention it several times during the Lunch Munchie show today on Day Trading Radio, but I've forgotten to put it into the website and send out an email to everyone about us doing the show tonight. So what Chris and I did is we decided right just a few minutes before 9, we decided we should go ahead and give people a chance to get that email before we even start this. So I pushed the time back to 9:30. Cool. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here on Chris's screen. He's going to do a screen share with us, and we're going to go ahead and let him get started. If you didn't catch the other shows, they're on the YouTube channel and somewhere buried in live stream. If you need to see section 1 and section 2, you don't necessarily need to understand what this is going to cover, but if you are interested in the way Chris describes and shows us everything and you want to see more, we do have 2 other segments. So get with me maybe after the show, and I can get you guys links to 1 and 2, and we'll try to group these 3 together at some point. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let Chris take it over and go from here. And if you have a private message that you'd like to send me with a question for Chris, I can go ahead and relay that message to Chris and read it to him a little bit later if you'd like to. If not, if the chat room's not too busy, you can just drop it right in the main room there. Thanks, guys. All right, Chris, take it away, man.
Alrighty. Well, this is going to be over thinkorswim and how to write custom indicators for the thinkorswim platform. If you guys have been following us, you'll know that I have written a custom indicator for my own personal use and that I do trade with. And then this indicator has been developed, my own personal indicator has been developed throughout the years of what I've learned from John at Day Trading Radio and what I've learned from other people trading. So I've taken everything that I've known and learned from John at Day Trading Radio and what I've learned from other people and kind of built my own custom indicator for thinkorswim platform. Now, the one thing that that I must say is this is really only for educational purposes, and what we are about to show you is only for educational purposes. It's not an endorsement to purchase any stock or options, because what I'm about to show you is just something that you can take and develop on your own. This is not a trading plan or a trading system that you can go ahead and trade off of and be profitable. This is just to show you how to build a trading plan and a trading system on the thinkorswim platform for your own personal use. So now, thinkorswim, when I started working with them, they had so many indicators, and I was like, okay, so, and then I started reading about ThinkScript. Now, ThinkScript is its own programming language that the software developers for thinkorswim developed within the trading platform. Now, thinkorswim trading platform is developed in the Java programming language, which runs cross-platform, which means it can run on Linux, Mac, and Windows, anything that can run a Java programming language. Now, ThinkScript is a programming language. Now, people that are not familiar with programming languages themselves, don't worry about it. It's pretty simple with the ThinkScript platform. And let me first go in here. Okay, so when you add an indicator, what I normally do is I go right here. Let's say we're looking at the SPY, and I go right here, what I call the eyedropper, and I go ahead and click on that. Now, right inside there, if you look and let's say John uses the exponential moving averages. So I just go ahead and type in EXP. So if we look and we look at moving averages right here, which it says moving average exponential. Now, if I right click and I click on view, what this does is that it is a programming language within the thinkorswim platform that thinkorswim already has built in, which is an input, which is price, which is the close, the input length, which is non-period, and the displacement, which is 0. Now this is the exponential moving average for non-periods. Basically what this says is if I go over and I want to add a study, I go ahead and quick study, and I add in exponential moving average, which I go ahead and type, come down here to exponential moving average. Actually, I'm so used to doing this right here, I'm just going to type in exponential moving average. So if you go ahead and double click on that, then you'll see where it says price, close, and then the length is 9. And if you click apply and OK, that puts the non-period exponential moving average in there. Now what John uses is he uses the 20-period moving average, 20, 50, and 200. So let's go ahead and type in 20 in the length and click apply and OK. As you can see here, we have the 20-period moving average. So how would you go ahead and develop that for your own personal use as your own indicator itself? Well, we go to the eyedropper, we're going to double click and take that out. So now we're going to get into writing our own custom indicator. So when you go to new, you want to click on new here. So you click on new, and automatically right up top here it says new study 4. What I'm going to do is we're going to call this the close above 20 EMA, and we're going to go ahead and take this plot data equals close. We're going to go ahead and take that out. So we're going to go ahead and write our own custom indicator, which is the 20-period exponential moving average. So we're going to put in input, we're going to type in input length, which will be 20. We're going to put input displacement equals 0. Okay. Now the input length is going to be the 20-period moving average, and the displacement, let me take out the EMA, the displacement is going to be 0. So what we need to do is we need to plot it to the charting system. So we're going to type in plot the average EXP, average exponential moving average, equals, and then EXP. And as you can see, when you type this into the ThinkScript platform, it automatically brings it in. So the average EXP, and then we're going to type in price minus the displacement, and then we're going to do length, which is the 20-period moving average, which is right up here, 20-period moving average. And let's see. Oh, okay. As you can see here, when you start writing ThinkScript code, when you see it highlighted in red, that means there's an error. So what I forgot to do is I actually forgot to put the input price equals, whoops, input price equals close. Okay. So this is basically writing the 20 period exponential moving average itself. Okay, so then we want to do, since this is called the plot of the average exponential moving average, we're going to go AVG EXP equals set, and then when you start typing stuff in, it's going to do code completion, which is set default color. So you can go ahead and set the default color, and you want to do get, set the default color, and you want to do get color. So get color right here, and then let's just type in 1 and see what that does. Okay, now when you hover over stuff like this right here, when you hover over it, it will actually, when you hover over get color, it will actually bring up the color palette. And when you hover over it, sometimes you have to wait for the color palette to show. So right now we're doing 1, which is, I think, like a cyan color. And if we did color 5, it would be red. Okay, so let's do color 5. So let's go ahead and close this out, and we're going to come back and do color 5. So now the 20 period exponential moving average is going to be the color red. Okay, and let's go ahead and click OK on this. Well, let's see. We have close, we have undo. I don't know why it's not actually saving. Why it's not allowing us to click there.
You're not on paper money, are you? Maybe that's
no,
why.
I'm actually on the live account.
Okay.
If we click on edit source, let's go ahead and start over, and let's go ahead and click this. Let's go ahead and take this out of here. I'm going to click apply and OK. So now the charts are actually empty. So the charts are empty. It might have been that it did not allow me to go ahead and start that. So let's go ahead and just say test close above 2020 EMA. Well, let's just go ahead and click on new. Let's say test above 20 EMA. Let's just go ahead and close this out. I'm going to go ahead and type this in real quick, and we're going to do input price equals close, and then we're going to do an input length equals 20 period, and we're going to do an input displacement equals 0, and then we're going to do the plot AVG EXP equals EXP, and do the price displace, and the length is going to be 20 period, and then AVG EXP. We're going to set the default color, do get color of 5. Okay. And oh, there we go. All right. So whenever you have errors, like I had a single quote here and it gave a complete error. So you know there's an error in here somewhere whenever you see this highlighted an error. And that's because I didn't do a semicolon to end the statement. Whenever you're in ThinkScript, you need a semicolon to end the statement. So now we're going to go ahead and click OK. We're going to go ahead and click Apply. And then we're going to click OK. Now, as you can see, we have here, we have actually programmed our own 20-period exponential moving average into the chart, as you can see by the red line. Now, if you go over here to the eyedropper, you'll see where it says test above 20 EMA. When you click on that, where it says price, it says close. You want to set this to the close because the 20-period exponential moving averages takes the open, the high, low, and the close, and that's where you get your moving averages. Now, there's a certain algorithm to get the exponential moving averages, which we did not type in, but we just typed in, if you right-click and click on Edit Source, we just put the exponential moving averages within ThinkScript in our own custom indicator right now. So if you wanted to change the period, so let's say we wanted to go 50. So you would just go ahead, and since we have the length of 50, as you can see here, when I right-click and hit Edit Source, the length right here is 20. That's the default. But if your user wants to say 50, well, they just highlight this and they type in 50, click Apply, and as you can see, it moved. So now we're going to go ahead and right-click and click on Edit Source, and that's going to be 20-period exponential moving average. So now we've got a study, the 20-period exponential moving average. But now we want to get a little bit more fancier. Let's say you're writing a custom indicator where you want to be alerted when it closes above the 20-period exponential moving average. So now we have to price the length and the displacement. Okay, so now we are going to say, okay, we're going to plot a buy signal. Oops. So let's see, buy. We're going to plot a buy signal equals, and this is where you come into conditional statements. If a certain algorithm meets a certain condition, we're going to do this, or else we're going to do something else. Now, if you're a programmer, if A equals B or else it equals C, I mean, stuff like that. So we're going to do plot the buy signal equals if the close is above or is greater than. Okay, so if the close of the stock, of the candlestick, and we're on a daily candlestick, if the close is greater than the average exponential moving average is above, right here, which is this, is above the 20-period exponential moving average, and, whoops, then we're going to plot it at the low of the candle, or else it's going to be a double nan. Now what that means, and I've got an error here, plot signal buy equals if the close is greater than if the close we're going to plot the buy signal if the close is greater than the average exponential moving average, then it's going to be the low, or else a double nan. And then we want to do a signal by, and we need to set the paint strategy because we are going to show a painting strategy of an up arrow, up. And we're going to actually set the color of the by. We need to assign a value color, of cyan, there. And there is an error inside here, and I really can't find it right now. So to plot, semicolon, signal by equals, oops, if. There we go. So if the signal by, if the close is above the 20 period exponential moving average, then we're going to show an error at the low, or else it's going to be a double nan. Now a double nan basically means, if we hover over it, returns the value that indicates that the result of an operation is not a number. So it just means it's just going to be null. It's not going to be anything of any type of value. And that's the signal by. So then we have a misspelled word, which is signal by, as you can see here. And then we have another error right in here. So if we do signal by, and I'm just going to go ahead and take this out right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and retype it in, because sometimes when you do get errors, you just need to just start from scratch. Assign value color, and then the color is going to be, whoops. It's going to be cyan. Okay. I really didn't know what the error was, so what I did was, since I saw that it was just a complete red line, I just went on ahead and took it out and retyped it in. And personally, I do work as a software developer, and anybody that is a programmer will be able to tell you sometimes when you get an errors on the line, just go ahead and completely wipe it out and just restart it, and then all of a sudden it starts working. Don't know why, just because your eyes don't see anything. Like right now, if you take out that period, you're going to see an error. And then all of a sudden you see, like, well, why is there an error? Well, because you forgot a period. Or you forgot to close the quotes. And all of a sudden you see an error and you're like, well, why did I see that error? And you really can't find it until you just go ahead and retype it in. So now if we go ahead and click apply and OK, and click apply here and then click OK, now you will start seeing buy triggers. Now these are buy triggers because these buy triggers are above the 20-period exponential moving average that we programmed in. So any candle where there is a close above the 20-period exponential moving average, you'll see a buy trigger. Like this one right here. It closed right here, but it's above the 20 EMA. You get a buy trigger. This candle here closed below the 20 EMA. You do not get a buy trigger. Now, does everybody follow that so far as far as custom programming your indicators?
Hey, Chris. We got Nathan's asking a question here. He says, "Can I ask Chris, how do you set up the custom PPMA indicator buy and sell signals when you're scanning a stock? Do you set that up in the script?"
Yeah, he must have. You're talking about my custom indicators. The pivot point moving averages you can set them up, and you can set them up in a scan. So he's asking, can you scan for stocks with this?
Yeah, he's asking. He did ask about scans. Yeah.
Yeah, see, right now we're on charts, and we're going to go to scan. Once we do go to scan, I'm going to show you how you can scan with the custom indicators that you do right. So we're going to try and do that towards the end of the show. But yes, that is how I do find my daily setups. Let me go ahead and close this custom indicator section out with one more thing, and that is with the stochastics. Because right now we've got buy triggers right in here that any candle that closes above the 20 EMA, we are going to go ahead and we're going to get a buy trigger, which we do. And if we scroll back, you see right here, we don't get buy triggers. But since all of these buy triggers, these arrows up, you see buy triggers because it's above the 20 EMA. So if we go in here and you want to click on that, and then you want to right click and edit source. Okay, so right now we have the input price, which is the close, the input length, which is the 20 EMA, the input displacement, which is 0. We have plotted our 20-period EMA. Now here's the condition statement. If the close of the candlestick, the daily candle, is greater than the 20-period exponential moving average, which we have here, or whatever the user wants to put in, then we're going to plot the arrow at the low, or else it's just going to be null. So here we want to do signals, set the paint strategy. We want to do an up arrow. And sometimes those boxes annoy me, guys, to be honest with you. But set the buy trigger, assign the value to the sign on color. Okay. Well, and here's another thing. If you guys want to get alerted to stocks, like when you see the alert message in Thinkorswim, if you want to program that, so when you're not on the daily chart, but if you're looking on a 5-15-minute chart and you want the pop-up window to show and ring a bell, you can go ahead and do that. All you got to do is just right-click this, edit the source. When you go to signal buy area, if you want to write a comment, if you want to start commenting the code that you're writing, you want to do pound, and then you want to say show, alert, and make sound. Okay? Anything that starts with the pound is a comment. So here we can start commenting our code. Show up arrow for buy signal. And that's a comment because we started it with the pound. So now we want to do an alert box. So what you want to do is type in alert, and then signal by, and then let's say time to go long. Okay, and then you want to do alert bar, and then you want to do sound, and let's see, we do a ring. Okay, now how did I know what to say? Okay, signal by, time to go long, alert bar. Well, when you start typing in stuff, you can type in alert, and what that will do is when you hover over alert, it will actually bring it up, and it will say, you know, the data holder, the condition, which is the by trigger, signal by, the string text, which you want to say, time to go long, the integer alert, it's going to be a bar type, and the string is going to be the sound. And also, before I start going into any further detail, if you really want to understand ThinkScript and you're in this window and you don't understand something, you can go over here to your reference window and you can type in like and you can look at your operators. Now, this just gives you references of what needs to be done. Like if you click on alert, it tells you, okay, alert, default values, alert type, the alert wants sound, and it shows an alert message with the text and stuff like that. Also, what you can do is you can come right up here to the very top, and you see where it says ThinkScript Manual, where it says ThinkScript Manual, click on that, and that will bring up the website for the whole Thinkorswim Resource Center for the ThinkScript Manual. You can click on Get Started, write in your first script. You can click on Reference. It gives you all your references, your functions, your constants, your data types, your operators. I mean, it gives you a whole manual right inside. And I use this all the time. Search the keyword and you type in alert. Okay? It gives you alert studies and strategies for the alert. So when you click on this, it gives you all the syntax. It gives you the default values. It gives you the description. And sometimes it gives you actual right here. It gives you some actual examples. Example 1, example 2. And you can just copy and paste these right into here, your ThinkScript window, and start testing it. And please don't get frustrated because it took me a long time to understand this. This is a different programming language, but it's a very simple programming language to understand. So when we type in alert, signal by, time to go long, alert by, sound ring, you click on apply and OK. So now, okay, and actually it gave us an alert chart type because the chart is greater than a 20 EMA and there was a by trigger, so it gave us an alarm and it actually rang. So you click apply and OK. So what does that do? When you go to your eyedropper and you click on your study, it gives you your plots, your average exponential moving average. Well, you can change the color of it if you want to change the color. You click apply and OK and it changes the color. So now it changes the color of the 20-period exponential moving average. Click on here, you can change it back to red. Okay, now that we set up an alert, you have an alert box here. So now you can click on alerts, you can enable it, you can disable it. So when you enable it and you want to do repeatedly for each bar, show in message window, play sound. There's different sounds that you can play. And also alert message. You can change your alert message. You can say, go long, dude. And then you can click apply OK. And it says, go on, dude, because I can't type. Click apply. There we go. Chart alert. 1 year daily chart for the SPY. So these custom indicators, you can start writing message windows, and alerts. And my own custom indicator that I wrote for myself that I do personally trade off of daily and intraday trades, it doesn't matter. You can actually displace this chart and actually go right here and say, okay, I want to have this window right here. You can open up multiple windows, and you can have this, and you can have this on multiple windows. So you can drag this over to your other window, and you can have 10 windows up, 10 windows open with your custom indicator that you wrote, and every time it alerts to your trading strategy, it will pop open that window and the bell will ring. Also, I have it set up so where it will even text message my phone, my cell phone. So if I'm away and something set up on the daily chart and it rings, boom, I get a text message. So I can go right in Thinkorswim. I can place a trade right through my phone, so I don't miss a trade. Now, one more thing. If you want to right-click this and click on Edit Source, one other thing, you can actually do stochastics. So if you do input, let's say we want to do the input of the stochastics, and we want to go long, which is greater than the 40 period. So if you look at the stochastics here, what we're basically doing, that's going to get annoying. What we're basically doing is saying, okay, if the trade is, let's say at the 40 for the stochastics here. Okay, so now we're going to go back here, and we are going to right-click. We're going to edit source, input stochastics long. That will actually give you, as you can see right here, input stochastics long. That actually gives you some parameters that you can change. Whenever you type in input, it gives you parameters to change. You can input the stochastics long. You can change it to 25, 30. You can change the length of the EMA to 20, which is a default. We have it set to 50. That is what the input means. So now we're going to go here. We're going to say return the percent K. Oops, percent, yeah. Percent K for going long. We're going long on stochastics. Okay. Oh, that code completion bothers me sometimes. All right, so we got that. So now we need to define it. So we're going to do a diff to define the stochastic long. Stochastic long. Wow. You guys are going to have to excuse me. I've been drinking a little bit tonight. All right. So now we start typing in stochastics, and then, as you can see, we got code completion. So we go to full, stochastics full. Let's say you want to do a stochastics full, but you want to do the 80, the 20, whoops, wow, I had my fingers in the wrong place, 14, 3, and we want to do, whoops, which is the high, the low, and low, and we want to do the close, which is the close, and we want to do it 3. Whoops, we want to do it 3, and we want to do it something moving average. We want to do percent full K. There we go. All right. I know that was a lot to do, guys. But if you hover over this, when you hover over it, it usually pops open. Sometimes it doesn't. All right. But you can always go to your ThinkScript, and let's say you want to use the stochastics full. Okay, so you want to do a condition on the stochastics full, but you don't understand what the 80, 20, 14, 3, the high, the low, the close, the 3. You're going to use a SMA, and you're going to do the full K. You can always go over here to ThinkScript, and you can just type in stochastics. Okay, so you can just type in the stochastics, and let's see if we can go in here. Oh, well, look at there. We got the stochastic slow. So now we got the stochastic slow, so we have the input parameters, which is right here. These are the input parameters, okay? Those are input parameters. We have overbought, oversold, %K, %D. So when we scroll down, we have the plots, the slow K, the slow D. This will start giving you a reference, and we're using the stochastics full. Okay, so we're doing the studies here. And I just typed in stochastics full. So you can start reading the whole description of everything, what it does. Okay. And also another thing that you must understand. If you are working with a ThinkScript and you get stuck, and I have gotten stuck, don't think that I'm just some bang up programmer that I know how to bang out some ThinkScript code. I'm not. I'm a Java and PHP developer professionally. So I know how to write Java code, and I know how to write PHP code. I can bang out some PHP and Java code. But when it comes to ThinkScript, it's a different programming language. So if you get stuck, make sure that you contact Thinkorswim and you do their support. And I've had to help. I've had to ask our programmers, hey guys, I'm trying to do this. How in the heck do I do it? I'm getting stuck. I'm getting errors. Here's my code. It might take a couple of days because the programmer over there is going to be like, hey, Chris, you know, you're on the right path, but, you know, you have an error here. So this is what you need to do. And they gave me back sample code. Okay? Just take your time and develop it. It took me over a year to develop my own custom indicator for Thinkorswim, which I actually trade off of with live money. It took me over a year to do it. So don't get frustrated. It takes a while, but once you get used to it, you're going to love it because you don't need to rely on anyone else's trading system. You can custom code your own trading system. If it's John that teaches you how to trade, you can take John's methods, you can write it into Thinkorswim, and you can trade off of it. You can get alerts. But it just takes time, and that's what you must understand. So now we need to write a filter. So now we're going to do a diff, and we're going to do long. We're going to call this one filter equals the stochastics long. Right here is less than the input stochastics long. Okay. Basically what this means is I'm writing a variable which is long one filter. I'm going to go long on the stochastics long right here. Stochastics long. But that stochastic has to be less than the input stochastics long, which is has to be lower, the %K has to be below 40 for me to go long. Okay, so now if we click apply and OK, it really doesn't do anything. Except for ringing that bell that gets kind of annoying. It really hasn't done anything right yet. So now what we're trying to do is these little buy areas right here, they're overbought. As you can see, they're overbought. Okay, we don't want to be triggered to them. We want to be triggered to something that is oversold in the stochastics, the way John teaches you. You want to be oversold, but you want to have a good momentum of going upwards. So let's say we want to go above the 20 exponential moving average, but we want to kind of be oversold. But we want to say, okay, I want to get in here when we're oversold and we're making a move above and we start running back up. That's where I want to be alerted. So we're going to go back in here. We're going to right click. We're going to go and edit source. Now, plot signal if. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to go plot signal. If the close is greater than the exponential moving average and the long filter applies. Long doji? What's a long-legged doji? What the heck is a long-legged doji? I have to look that one up. I know what dojis are, but a long-legged doji? The heck is a long-legged doji? All right. If the close is greater than the average exponential and the one filter, which is right here, stochastics is less than 40, the input stochastics long, then we want to plot the arrow at the low of the candle, or else we're just going to give it a null value. We don't want to display a nothing. We're going to click apply. We're going to click OK. All right, so now we've got the price here. We got the close. We got the length, which is, we're going to change this back to the 20 EMA. Displacement 0. Input stochastics long. Let's say we want to go below the 35. Apply and OK. Oh, voila. There you go, guys. Now, we're going to be alerted to any trades that closes above the 20 EMA. But, as you can see here, this candle, if you come down here, you look at the %K, it is, basically it's right at 30, so it's below 40, okay? So it's kind of oversold. And this is where we're going to get our alert system, whether you're on a daily or a 15-minute. It doesn't matter if you're on the 15-minute chart. It's still going to work the same, okay? So right here, it closes above, and it's actually at around 35. So you're going to get alerted. Okay. So if we scroll back, we kind of look at this. Oh, there you go. We closed above the 20 EMA. Stochastics is below the 40. So we're going to get an alert system to go long. So this is where you can start building your actual trading strategy to be alerted. Does everybody kind of understand what's going on? I know it's a lot to take in. You might have to review the video multiple times. RPM? You there?
Sorry, man. I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm sitting here talking to you with it muted.
I was getting her to hang up.
No, doing great, man. Fascinating. Any questions out there? Any other questions, guys?
If your heads are spinning, don't worry about it. You know, it's not for everybody.
Well, we've got more people in the chat room now than we did when we started. So, there's Tom Jott wants to know more about the PPMA alerts with the code. I'll walk through.
All right, cool. All right, so, all right, this is how you program your own custom indicators, guys. Okay, right here. Okay, look through this video. Go through the ThinkScripting platform. Look at the ThinkScript. Okay, click on ThinkScript manual. When you click on that, it'll bring up the manual. And also, there are other websites out there. Go to Google, type in ThinkScript, or type in ThinkScriptor. Okay, if you are interested in writing your own custom indicators and your alert systems for the ThinkScripting platform, this is the way to go. You don't need to be a programmer. There are people out there that can show you and help you with this. And also, there's another if RPM wants me to do this, I can do another Trader Spotlight on Prodigio, which is an automated trading system for Thinkorswim, where you can actually take the code and drag. You don't need to write code. You drag and drop it onto a screen, certain indicators where you want things to go. You drag and drop it. You can run backtesting strategies, and you can start automating your trading. You know, that's called Prodigio. I can do another Trader Spotlight with Thinkorswim Prodigio system. I know how to use that. I'm a programmer by trade. I do it for a living. I don't trade for a living. I program for a living. I just trade as a hobby and make money at it. And it's basically beer money and vacation money. So, all right. So you want to go. So let's say you wrote a strategy. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go ahead and clear out. I'm going to load up an empty chart. So let's say you wrote a strategy, and let's say we wrote the PPMA strategy. This is the pivot point moving average strategy. And I'm going to click apply and OK. This is a strategy that I wrote a while back. This one I particularly do not use to personally trade off of. I use a different one, but it kind of uses the same logic. A cousin of mine in Alabama was like, well, hey, Chris, can you take your pivot point moving average system and have it one moving average system, but change colors when you have buy and sell traders? And that is what this basically does. You can see the yellow right here, which we're in a sell mode. But as you can see, the stochastics kind of got oversold. And then we kind of closed above these pivot point moving averages. So then it kind of changed color. So now that it changed color, well, there you go. It changed color. So if you follow that up, as long as you don't close below that pivot point moving average, you're still in a buy mode. Okay? Just like here, we closed above it, we're in a buy mode. We closed below it, we didn't get a sell trigger till right here, but you kind of sold off. But you need to use it the way John teaches the stochastics. I know John doesn't use pivot point moving averages. He uses the EMA moving averages. But I follow John with his stochastics and his trend lines and his chart patterns. And that is how I do trade. As you can see right here, stochastics, we change color, we go up. So you want to find out how you can scan for trades. So when you click on the scan tab, I've already got scans that are already pre-built in. Okay, so I have my personal scans, I have my PPMA, which is oversold. Okay, so right here, I have PPMA, which is oversold on the daily. I'm going to click on this little pencil here. And what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for the stochastics, the percent K, which equals to 14, to be less than 40. Well, let's just say less than 30. And the close of the candle is above the pivot point moving average system, the PPMA, the custom indicator that I wrote. And you click OK. All right. So basically, what you want to do is you want to write this code right here. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset everything. So I'm going to reset everything. I'm going to go ahead and close out all these. So I'm going to close these out because we want to write our own custom scan. I'm going to add a study filter. So you click on Add Study Filter, and what you want to do is you want to click on this and go down to Custom. When you click on Custom, it's going to bring up basically what we just showed you, a ThinkScript box. We're going to close that out. We're going to go ahead and paste in what we just have here. This pivot point moving average system is what I programmed myself. Yeah, okay. So I just tried to type in the semicolon, but it gave me an error, so it doesn't like that. So now that we have that in there, which is a stochastics %K equals 14 is less than 30, and the close of the candle is greater than the pivot point moving average system, we want to go ahead and click OK. So now that we have that, what we can do is we can go ahead and click on Scan. What this is going to do is scan all stocks. I don't like trading all stocks. I like trading, we want to go to public. I like looking at the S&P 500, the good quality stocks, and I click on Scan. So NEM and WPI. So NEM and WPI meet that criteria. So I want to save this scan query. You click on Save Scan Query and you just type in test PP pivot point moving average scan. All right, so now it's saved. So now when I go to public, I can type on test right here. So it automatically populates that, and you click on scan. So it's going to scan. So we have NEM and WPI. So we go back to the charts. Well, let's just type in NEM. So what does NEM do? Well, guess what? NEM is below the stochastics that we said, which was below 30. And also, it closed above the pivot point moving average system, which is right here. It did close above the pivot point moving average system. However, it did not change color yet. So this would be a stock that I would be looking to get into, okay? And where would my stop be? Probably down here at the previous low. So if that's too great of a stop for you, well, walk on the trade. You don't need to take every trade, just walk. So now we have WPI. It's WPI. Guess what? Stochastics below the 30. But it closed above the pivot point moving average system right here. So that would be a stock that I would be looking to get into. So that stock, we have the pivot point moving average system because it came up on the scan. So what would I do? I would look at tomorrow's right here. I would look at tomorrow's trading. Okay, so we're trading right here. We're right here. So you know you could probably get in right here at the pivot point. You have support at the support pivot right here, but the momentum is upward because of the pivot point moving average system. That's mainly how I trade for stocks. Does that answer the question?
And of course, we'll just wait a few minutes for the probably 5 or 10 second delay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't look as complicated as I thought it was going to look.
It's really not. I mean, you really don't need to be a hardcore programmer. You don't need to do it for a living to be able to make money at this. There are people out there that will help you with this. And even Thinkorswim. And I am a full-time programmer. And heck, guys, I needed help with ThinkScript. I was like, man, this is a new programming language. I mean,
yeah, it's all different. Everything's different. The cool thing, the cool thing about it is the way a lot of it, automatically fills in for you, as you're writing it,
Yeah. I mean, that really does help. And it kind of does help. I mean, I am a professional programmer, so it did help. Like, I understood conditions and variables and statements and stuff like that. So it kind of does help. But heck, guys, I'm continuously, this pivot point moving average system, I trade my own system right here, okay? This is a system that I'm currently working on right now. Let me get rid of these options stuff right here, show expiration, and let me get rid of the pivot point, the pivots that I wrote in. Okay, this system that I wrote myself, this is a pivot point moving average system. It's a little bit more complex than what we just went over. Okay, but if you look right here, I'm writing a system right now that I am going to release to thinkorswim and also on my site. We have arrows right here. When you have a buy arrow in this daily candle right here, it says the next day you should get in. Okay, so if we hover right here, we had a buy trigger right here. So what happened the next day? These pivot point moving averages right here. The 3-period pivot point moving average, which is the yellow, and the other pivot point moving averages, which is Scion, which is a combination of pivot point moving averages and exponential moving averages combined together, along with John's stochastic system that I learned from him being oversold. Guess what? We have a buy trigger. Guess what? We get in, boom, we get in, we get out. That day, you just made money. Okay? We have right here, we have buy triggers. You know, they really didn't work out, but you really didn't get your butt handed to you for a stop if it's set to the previous low. And also right here, we have a buy trigger. Just because you get a buy trigger does not mean anything. When I look at this, I'm like, wait a minute. These pivot point moving average right here is sloping downward. Since it's sloping downward, I need to filter it personally myself and say, okay, I'm going to hold on this trade. I am trying to write it a little bit better logic to see if we have a slope to the pivot point moving averages to do a buy trigger or not. But right now I need to do a linear slope algorithm to see if the linear slope of the moving averages. But that's just, you know, a little bit too much about linear slopes. They're complicated and I'm having a hard time writing that. Right here we have a buy trigger. The slope, the linear slope of the moving average was not all that bad. So we had a buy trigger. Boom, it went up. Stochastics oversold. So we look right here. Buy trigger. Boom, buy trigger. Stochastics oversold. We have a snapback to the moving average. You get in right here, you get out right here. You still make money. I mean, you guys can program this to what you want. Okay? And that is that is what this is about, is being able to program to your trading strategy. I trade options, calls, puts, calendars, iron condors, different strategies all the time.
Well, that's an hour worth.
Yeah.
Same people asking the same questions. They want more information about the PPS and the PPMA. You got a free script on your marketswingtrader.com if you look at the top of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is a script that you can download. I mean, if you click on if you go to pivot point moving average system right here, I mean, this right here is a custom indicator that I wrote myself. I mean, if you go to pivot point moving average system, market swing trader, I mean, that's written by me.
That's already in thinkorswim?
No, this is not what I am looking to do. And this is an indicator that I wrote. If we scroll through here, as you can see, it's not that big. I need some more work done to it. This is an indicator that I'm looking to finish up by this year, and I'm looking to get it, and I'm looking to contact thinkorswim and have them put it in there by default.
Right, right. There's a lot of people that do that. I just put a link to your custom indicator page on your site too, in the chat room there.
All right, and there is a video of how to use it on YouTube. I am looking to get this pivot point moving average system put into thinkorswim as default, but people need to learn how to use it before you really trade with it. It's not the holy grail. It's just a way that I trade.
And people can actually modify. It might be a good idea. I was going to say, this is what I do all the time. I'm not a programmer. as you know, but I can take a script that's already been written and I can pretty much work my way through it and modify it as I need and figure out what it does. I would suggest, and to correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but I would suggest that people could examine some of the available ThinkScripts that are out there that they like, and then possibly do modifications to those to tweak their own needs. And then as you do that, I would think that one could almost learn how to start writing their own or cut pieces out of different scripts and add them together and stuff.
Exactly. I mean, guys, I did not come up with this pivot point moving average system. John Person is the man on pivot point on pivots. Okay. John Person is the man on pivot points and pivot point moving average system. I bought his book. I read it like 5 times. And then I was like, okay, I want to learn this. I'm going to immerse myself in pivot points. So then I started writing pivot point moving averages myself. So, like right here, we get a buy trigger. We got a buy trigger right here. So we get a snap back to the pivot point moving average. Stochastic is oversold. I would buy right in this area. And my stop would be at the low. So you move up. So you get another buy trigger. Stochastics oversold, the way John teaches. You get a snap back to the pivot point moving averages. And guess what? You move up. I mean, this system is not the Holy Grail. It's just something that I have been working on for a year and that I currently trade live off of intraday and daily swing trades. But it's all done with ThinkScript.
And you primarily using options for almost every trade, right?
Oh, absolutely. I hardly ever buy any common shares anymore. The only time I will buy a common share if the setup is ideal and it's, you know, an inexpensive stock and I don't mind buying, you know, a couple hundred shares. Yeah, sure, I'll go in. But, you know, like right here, if you go into the SPY right here, and let's say you get a buy trigger and you go in here at 123 and a quarter, okay, and you sell it up in here when you get oversold. That's 126. That's like a 3-point move in a few days. I mean, one contract. You can make yourself $100 easily. So yeah, I mainly use options, but you can use this with options, with swing trading.
For the ES.
Yeah, you can use it for the ES. When you go to ES, like if you go to ES and I type in ES, and let's say I use this on the 15-minute chart on the ES. Well, guess what? The ES today, if we look at the ES today, I do not have sell triggers here, okay? I have not programmed in short triggers yet, but we closed below the pivot point moving average. As you can see here, we closed below the pivot point moving averages. Stochastics was overbought, so we're running down. So what would I do? I would enter here, maybe add if we got a snap back to the pivot point moving averages. But guess what? We sold off right down to the intraday pivot. So you cover, take a couple points off of that. Right here, we closed above the pivot point moving average. We got a buy trigger. So you get in here. So the open was at 13.19 and a quarter, and the high was at 13.20. So that's, you know, 3/4 of a move. And guess what? You really didn't make anything, but you closed below the pivot point moving average. Guess what? You need to get out.
Or you could have gone short then.
Or you could have gone short, but you need to get out. You need to get out. You're wrong. Mm-hmm. So you take your small loss. This is something that helps me not get clobbered. Okay, so we get a buy trigger. It closed above the pivot point moving average. Guess what? 13.30 and a half, and we closed at 13.15. Guess what? You got a point out of that.
Hey, Chris.
Okay, it just keeps you in the right direction.
Chris, I have a question. All right, so yeah. I'm gonna take your mouse for a second here. Right here, okay, where you see that indicator. When does that actually show up? Does this show up when this candle is finished?
When it closes. When it closes, that's when that buy trigger will show up.
Okay, and at that point, you try to get your best entry you can on the next candle, which is in here.
Yes. Now, what I look for is a snap back to this pivot point moving average. So we opened up pretty close to it, so I would go in one contract. My close would be below this low here, which is 1309.
Your stop.
But my my stop, which would also be 1313. Now, what that's saying, that's a 4-point move. That's a pretty big ass move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you cannot handle that kind of stop, you need to walk away from this trade. Don't trade.
Now, can this work on faster charts? Can you use this on the 5 or 1 minute if you want it?
Let's go over to the style. Let's go over to aggregation. Let's go over to the tick charts. Okay, let's go over to a tick chart, a 3200 tick chart. Let's go over to a 3200 tick chart. You can use this on tick charts if you want. Okay, so you get a buy trigger right here. Buy trigger. You get in right here, 1310. You start and you start riding up. Guess what? You start scaling out of your trade. Get out. You've got 4 points right there. Get out. You know, you're making higher highs. You're not closing below your previous low. But guess what? You close right here below your previous low. You need to cover all your trades or either get out half and move to a break even. This is not the Holy Grail. It just keeps you in the right direction of the trade. Okay, that's all this is designed to do. You can do it on 5-minute chart. You can do it on 5-minute chart if you want on the ES. Right here, if you do it on a 5-minute chart on the ES, if we look right here, okay, right here, we closed below the pivot point moving average. I don't have a trigger because I just haven't programmed it in yet, but we closed below the pivot point moving average, so we start shorting it right here. Where is the close? Well, right here. That is where your stop would be, 1327. Okay, so you didn't reach that, but you traveled right on down. Once you got right down here to the intraday pivot, you get out half of your contract. Guess what? We closed above the pivot point moving averages, so you start going long. Guess what? You were wrong. You closed below it. Your stop is set. You did not get clobbered. You didn't lose like 4 or 5 points. You didn't get clobbered. And that is that's why I use this. So I just keep myself in the right direction. Right here, we're long. But guess what? We're long. Guess what? You were wrong in the trade. You get out right here. You didn't get clobbered. I mean, it's just a way to keep you in the right direction. Okay.
It's like a couple of them are wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Holy Grail. Okay. But guess what? I don't use this. Right here, we're in chop mode, guys. We're up, we're down. We're in chop mode. I hate this. I hate chop mode. The best time that this indicator is going to work is when you have sell-offs, okay? All right. The best time this indicator is going to work is when you have a sell-off, okay? We moved up, we kind of sold off, okay? So now we're right here at the support pivot. We kind of sold off, we're at the support pivot. Stochastics is oversold. Guess what? You get long on this candle. Your stop is below the previous low, and you get a few points and you get out. This is where the indicator works. This indicator sucks at chop. When you're chop back and forth, it will give you buy and sell triggers, and you will be chopped up. It does not work at chop. It works great at long. Okay, we had a nice little move up, and then we had to close below the pivot point moving averages, so you get short. Your stop is up here, and guess what? You got a couple points, and you get out. That is where this indicator really shines. I was
going to say, there's Nathan's just mentioning, if you add the PPS with the PPMA, you wind up with buy and sell triggers.
Yeah. Now, the PPS system is John Person's proprietary system.
You could put your buy indicator. You could reverse the script and do it for the sell, right?
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm looking to do, and I just haven't programmed it in there yet. Like this right here. Like we closed below the pivot point moving average system. We got the stochastics that is at a certain point, and you can sit there and sell. I mean, I've been working on this, guys, and I'm trying to get it down to a science, but.
If it was that easy, I mean, it would be a perfect trading system. You just make it automated and walk away from it. No system's really like. I mean, nothing's perfect. Like you said, nothing's the holy grail.
Nothing's the holy grail. What you need to understand is what John teaches you. Okay, we got a nice up move. Stochastics is oversold, and we got a buy trigger. Guess what? You go long, you make money. But stochastics oversold, you get a buy trigger, you go long. I mean, right here, stochastics oversold. Guess what? We had a nice move up, and then we closed below the pivot point moving averages. So now we come back down to the oversold. Guess what? It stopped right at the intraday pivot. I am a pivot point trader, and that is what these pivot point moving averages do. The yellow line right here is a 3-period pivot point moving average. What does that mean? You're taking a 5-minute candle. So right here, you're taking this 5-minute candle and you're going back 3, and you're getting the high, the low, and the close divided by 3.
Hey, Chris,
for the past 3 periods.
Your page didn't refresh just now. I see your mouse, but I don't see your. We're not looking at what you were just pointing at. We had that happen to us before. Let me change something.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what it is with the Mac.
Yeah, I'm still in beta on this team viewer.
Okay.
The one thing, guys, is this pivot point moving average system. Okay. In order to understand how the pivot point moving average system works, you need to understand how pivot points work. Now, a pivot point is you take the high, the low, and the close divided by 3, and that gives you your pivot point for that candle, whether it's a daily or a 5-minute candle. Now, what I've done for this yellow line, which is the 3-period pivot point moving average system. So what does that mean? That means I'm taking 5 minutes.
Can you move that team viewer thing off your screen? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. So what does that mean? I'm taking this candle, which closed this candle right here. Here, let me pivot point moving average system. Let me go ahead and
let me just address something too real quick. I had Mad Hatter just ask me how come he just got the email about 15 minutes ago. Yeah, the emails went out right a few minutes before 9 when I realized that we did not post one to the site today. And I apologize for that. So what I did was we didn't start the show until 9:30, giving everyone a chance to get those emails and get into the site. Most everyone got the email, but probably before 9:30. But that would have still, left everyone who was probably wondering if we were having a show at all. So I apologize for that. It was just a miscommunication. So we pushed it back to 9:30. So we did start around 9:30 on this particular segment. And absolutely, Mad Hatter, it's going to be recorded. It is being recorded, and I will upload it to the Day Trading Radio's YouTube channel and post a link to that YouTube video back in the updates on the website. So as you see the last posting on the website, you see right now, you'll see where I announced the show tonight. I will edit that post and I will put the link in there to the YouTube high definition YouTube version. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's I mean, this pivot point moving average system, I am a pivot point trader, and I learned pivot points through John, through Day Trade Radio to begin with. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I learned from him that he does not teach you guys now, and I kind of wish he did, but
Yeah, it's stuff that you gotta.
I learned from him from years ago. I
Yeah,
mean,
you got to
yes,
watch for months and months. He's got so much knowledge. If there's
I
so
mean,
many videos too
oh,
out there, if you go back and watch the very first ones, you can
it's
learn
crazy.
practically everything imaginable to trading. The only one thing that he really doesn't mess with is options, but as far as the actual charting, he's a
Yeah.
master chartist.
I mean, right here, what John teaches me, when you're trading above the intraday pivot, which is right here, when you're trading above it, guess what? That pivot is your support. And look what it did, guys. It traded above it. It came down right to the daggone pivot, and look what it did. It just traded right at it and just kept on. Okay? This yellow line, which is a 3-period pivot point moving average system, what this is, it takes this, okay, it's a leading indicator. I know you guys talk about lagging indicators. This is a leading indicator because I've automatically, let me get rid of the custom pivots, okay? This is a leading indicator. And what I mean by leading indicator is you can see right here, like right now, it gives you a
There's a question there from
1419. Go ahead.
Stock Bandit just asked. He says, "Why does Chris's charts have on tails on the candles? Those you mean the wicks? Every chart should have that, right? Every candlestick chart should have wicks on it. I mean, you're on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to a 15-minute. I don't like trading on the 5-minute. I like trading on the 10-minute or 15-minute.
Looks right to me.
Okay. So like right here, we have 13.33. Okay, this is a leading indicator. So what is it telling me? It's telling me tomorrow morning when we open up at the 15-minute candle that the pivot point for the 3 periods, which is these 3 candles, which if you take the high, the low, and the close, divide that by 3, you should get 13.33. That is a pivot point. This is a pivot point moving average, is a yellow line. It's just taking the 3 candles, the previous 3 candles, and getting the high, the low, and the close and divided by 3. So this kind of, it's given me a sentiment of what is the market doing. Okay, so now when I add in on my pivot point moving average system, when I add in the pivot point moving average, but now I want to add in my own little thing, which is this teal line, which this teal line is the 3-period pivot point moving average plus, I think it's the 5-period exponential moving average system combined. So you're combining the if we look at the source here, and I don't care about giving out the source. I really don't care. This ain't no super secret thing where you need to class Q clearance to get it. Smooth out the pivot point moving average system. Change it to a exponential moving average 5. Okay, so now we're taking the pivot point, the 3-period pivot point moving average system, and we're adding it to a 5-period, as you can see here. We're adding it to a 5-period exponential moving average. That is your teal line, okay? It ain't nothing super secret. I really don't care. You can have it. I really don't care. Sell it, make money. Okay, so
No, that would make you mad. If somebody next thing you know, somebody takes your scripts and they put up a website and it's for sale. Yeah, that would.
You tell me
Yeah, let's redact that last statement you just said because people are going to go back and listen to this show over again and they're going, Let's see.
I can make money off of this. Well, guess
Yeah.
what? Why don't you make money off a trade instead of selling your crap to someone else?
Selling your crap to someone else. Yeah.
Yeah, play that.
Nimble, I'm sorry, Stock Bandit. I see what Stock Bandit was talking about now. He says, why does Chris's charts have on tails? He meant to say no tails. He doesn't see the wicks. What you guys need to do is just do full screen. I can see what they're saying now. It's hard to see the wicks on the candlesticks. So
Really?
it's because of just the way the resolution on the Thinkorswim and the way the Team Viewer and the live stream and all. If you guys,
okay.
It's just a little bit dark. If you guys do a full screen, hover over the middle of the video and hit the full screen, you can see those better. I misread his question.
All right. Do I need to change the color of the background?
I mean, you could do that, but I think we're okay. I mean, I can see them okay even on the small screen.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So now we got the pivot point moving averages, which is the teal line. So now we got the 3-period pivot point moving average and then combined with the teal line. So now my trading system says, okay, like right here, okay, if we close above the pivot point moving averages, well, guess what? We're in a bullish trend because now the pivots are in an uptrend. So now I'm looking to get long here. So I just keep trading up. So right here, if I get in here, which actually I look for a snapback. So if I close above it, the pivot point moving averages, which I would get in here and I would add to the position if it snaps back to the positions. Well, guess what? It didn't. It kept moving up. But now we have a little doji candle, a little indecision candle. We did not make a higher high, guys, but we closed right here. So what would I do at this candle? I'd probably go ahead and start scaling out of the position. Now that we start trading below this low here, I'd get out, really, I would get out half, okay? Then when we start closing below here, guess what? You do never, ever, ever want a winning trade turn into a losing trade. I don't care. You take a break-even trade day in and day out. Don't make a winning trade turn into a losing trade and hang on to it and let that crap go down. I mean, I don't care if you have a holy grail of a trading system. If you don't have proper money management and you can't control your trades, you're going to lose. It's just the way it is. It's all psychological. And that's what this does. It keeps me in the direction of the trade. Like right here, we had a nice move up. We closed below the pivot points, and the stochastics is overbought. If we close below this pivot point and this stochastics is oversold down here, guess what? Walk away from the trade. I don't care. I don't care if you can take 20 trades in a week. I would rather take 2 or 3 trades in a week and make money.
I wanted to just point out something. When you said walk away from the trade, Chris doesn't mean walk away from the computer and leave the trade on. He means get out of the trade.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And when he says don't ever let a winning trade turn into a losing trade, what he's saying is and we all know that's easier said than done, but try to take profits and don't let them turn into losers. If they start out as a loser, then that's usually a little bit harder to deal with because your emotions get to you. But when you have one that's winning, don't let it turn into a loser, I guess but that's basic.
Yeah.
Everybody, that's the goal for everyone. Actually practicing it and doing it in a real trading environment. I know that firsthand, especially with the ES recently. It's very hard to do.
I mean, look at this. ES 15-minute. Okay, 15-minute. Guess what? You close below the pivot point moving averages. You get in here at 1323, and you get out somewhere around here about 1320. You got 3 points. But guess what, guys? Just because this system is not always right. Look at this. You closed above the pivot point moving averages. However, the linear slope of that blue line is going down. So that kind of like, I got a buy trigger, but the linear slope is down. And I need to program this in about the linear slope of the pivot point moving averages by giving buy triggers, which I'm going to work on that. So we get a buy trigger. So I get in here. Guess what? You get in here, you open, you get in at the open. Let's say it's 13.19 and a quarter. The high is 13.20. You're like, yeah, I'm going to make money. And all of a sudden, bam, get your butt handed to you and you close below here. Guess what?
Yeah, and if your jaw is still on the keyboard, then look at the next candle.
Do you get out? Do you get out? You better make sure you get out because you're wrong in the trade. So get out. But your emotions say, no, I'm not going to get out. So now you're at 13.18. Before you know it, you're at 13.10. You lost 8 points. Okay? I mean, I can't. I get pissed off when people don't abide by the trading plan. I mean, you need to abide by the trading plan. I have not abided by my own trading plan. And when I look at historical trades, when I lose money, it's because I don't listen to my own trading plan.
Good advice.
I mean, I'm passionate about it, guys. I mean, all of a sudden, you're in this trade and you're like, yeah, I'm going to make a buttload of money. I'm going to be like 2 or 5 points. And all of a sudden, the trade goes south in you and you're like, I'm going to hold on to it.
I made a point right there on one car. I did. I went long.
Yeah.
I did it long.
And right here, you got a buy trigger. Guess
Yep.
what? You got snap back to the moving averages. So you get a couple points. Get out. But guess what? This is where you scale in and scale out. So you go long, you get in 2 contracts, you get a point, you get out, you move to a break even, okay? No one's ever gone broke by just taking small profits because what I learned from John, and I take this all the way, small profits build big accounts.
Base hits win ball games.
Oh, singles. Yep. I'll a single every day in and day out because before you know it, all of a sudden, you got yourself a grand slam, and before you know it, you're getting in here, and you're getting in at 13.06 and a half, and you're getting out right here at 13.08, and you got 3 points for the day. Okay, I mean,
there's a roller coaster, rocket coaster, saying that he doesn't have any losing trades. He only has those are long-term investments. They're not done yet, right, Rocket Coaster?
Yeah. I got them in my IRA account. They were called swing trades. Now they're called investments.
Position trade. Yep.
Yeah. One of them is called Target.
Hey, so we did about 90 minutes here. I guess we could go ahead and wrap this up and maybe do another one another time, unless you got something else you wanted to cover.
No. I mean, if you guys want to learn about the pivot point moving average system and my trading plan, I mean, shoot, I'll give it to you day in, day out. I don't care.
And this video is going to be, it is recorded. We're going to post it, so
yeah,
no problem there. Well, hey, Chris, I appreciate it, man. Thanks again.
Hey, no problem. Anytime.
And I'll get up with you tomorrow. I'm sure we'll be doing some more development, and like we always do, and covering all that stuff and all. I'm going to go ahead and close down the team viewer here. And what's the ES at right now, so I don't have to bring it up?
We were just looking at the ES. ES is at 13 and a quarter. We're down 2 points. Ain't no big deal. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't have extended sessions. Yeah, we're down like 2 points. Which I'm actually in a couple option trades. I mean, I'm in the SPY calendars. I'm in IWM calendars. I mean, I need the market to move down really to make money. So, but what the heck? You win some, you lose some. As long as at the end of the year you're making money, who cares?
What's up with that there, Epic? What are you talking about? DayTraderRockStar LOL? What's up with that? Epic. And there's Kaneko, and Kaneko is not in the room. But I was going to say tomorrow I'm going to be doing a from 11. Oh, spelling. Oh, I see. From about 11 on Friday. Friday the 27th, I'll be doing the show from 11 to the close tomorrow. And I was hoping to maybe get a group, call in. For anyone that would like to call in Epic, I'd like to have you call in if it's possible tomorrow. You're always a great guest. And anyone else out there that's interested in calling in. So, invitation is open to you guys. And I'm sure if Epic calls in, we'll have Kaneko and Trade for Pay and all those guys too. If not, that's all right. But, hey, Chris, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. I mean,
you are the Thinkorswim man.
I mean, just learn ThinkScript. If you guys want to write your own custom code and indicators and alerts, learn ThinkScript. It's not that hard, and there are people out there that will help you. I mean, if I got time, shoot me an email. I'll help you guys. And
there's KJ Trader, too. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience doing it, too. He's got a little website up on Google that he posted a link in there that he's doing a lot of these, too, and offering people those free ThinkScripts. And he said that you just inspired him to work on a new one for himself. So,
hey, awesome, man. I mean, hey, we're all here to help each other. I mean,
yep.
If you got a problem, man, just send us out the code and shoot. I mean, we'll help you.
Or if you just have an idea of exactly what you think would work, and you're having to do it, you're having to watch it all happen, in a manual way with your eyes, and you'd like to program that in Thinkorswim, let's maybe we can do one of these once a month or something, and we can try to tackle some of this indicators. Then you can start back testing it, and you can start testing it in real life and share it with other people.
Oh, and that's right. You know what? That would probably be another one. I mean, I forgot to tell you guys, with these ThinkScripts, there is code that you can write to back test, to buy and sell, where your buy and triggers and sell triggers are, where you can back test. Once you write a ThinkScript, you can back test it to see if it's profitable. I forgot all about that.
Now that would assume that the trades are automated, and they happen right when the triggers went off, or at least at the very And it would also assume that the fills went through and all that and everything, which we know in the real market conditions they don't always happen.
It doesn't. But it gives you an idea. If you write a script and all of a sudden if you say, okay, I got 100 trades and 80 of them are losers, well, guess what? Go back to the drawing board.
Right. Yeah, and you could tweak it, and then you could run it again. And if 50 of them are losers and 50 of them are winners, then maybe the back test at least gives you an idea you're going in the right direction at least.
Exactly, because guess what? This pivot point moving average, I ran it through the ThinkScript and started back testing it with historical data. With buy and sell triggers, guess what? I lost my butt. I was like, wait a minute. I had to go back to the drawing board because there was bugs in my code. And I just had to go back and keep going. That's another thing that we can think about. And there's also Prodigio in Thinkorswim. I can do a trader spotlight on Prodigio.
All right, we'll do that next time.
I mean, Prodigio is awesome. You don't need to write code. You just drag and drop the crap. And you're done.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
I just wish it wasn't TD Ameritrade behind Thinkorswim. Because I'm still paying $4.99 for every trade. And some people paying $9.99.
I know. I'm paying awesome commissions, but that's just because I negotiated a long time ago. I mean, I know, guys.
Mine's $4.99 no matter what, and I can't get them to go any lower. They laugh at me. They say, "What are you doing paying $4.99?" I told them, I said I was a Daytech customer, and it was $4.99, and you guys bought Daytech back in the
Yeah, I'm not going to say what I'm paying for commissions on options, but I mean it's
good enough to stay.
I'm staying. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks again, Chris.
No problem.
Have a good night and a good day tomorrow.
All right. Hey, later, guys.
All right, man. Bye. All right, so that was Chris Hall. That'll be at least the third one that we've done specifically on Thinkorswim. Great guest and great information. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We had kind of a light crowd, and again, I want to apologize for the late email going out to everyone. I will definitely post a link to that when I get it uploaded, and we'll upload it to the YouTube channel, and I'll title it best I can, and not literally best I can. I will title it with a nice name that describes what we just did, and then we can. Raker's asking for Chris's handle. Doesn't spend a whole lot of time in the chat room, but it's Hall 001 or 003, I think it is, something like that. But we'll put this up in the YouTube channel, and I'll post that. It'll probably take me about an hour to upload it, and then I will post the link to that specific video back in the original post that is on the site right now, that announced the actual Trader Spotlight. So with that, I'm RPM for another successful Trader Spotlight Live, and this has been Thursday, January 26, 2012. Chris Hall, Thinkorswim, Custom Indicators with ThinkScript. And that was really section number 3, or episode number 3 of the recent Thinkorswim. And look for a 4th episode probably in the coming month or so that we'll get with him and do that Prodigio session with him. So with that, I'm RPM, DayTraderRadio.com. If you're not a member, consider it. Come by, stop by the site, check us out, watch for free. And of course, if you want to join you a 2-week free trial, and come on in and say hello in the chat room, and I think you'll love what you see, and we'd love to have you. So take care, everybody. RPM out.